even real AEW New Japan. They want no part of this. An unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. Death Riders, Dave Kidd and the Young Bucks taking on Darby Allin, Tanahashi, Golden Lovers, and Will Ospreay.
To be fair, I also don't really want to see this match.
You have offered correction. Their tag are part of this match. However, it is still no disqualification because it's three-way.
Yeah, that kind of makes you wonder why you don't just get in the ring and jump everybody, right?
Right. I was thinking the same thing. Just jump in there.
And I just want to say we really like MJF, but we're going for Hangman tonight. But, like I said, we're going for Hangman tonight. And should I ask who you're all going for? Okay, I'm handing the mic back to the professionals here.
Thank you, Dr. Martha Hart. I wouldn't call us professionals, but we do try. I am Dillon from somewhere, joined by Harley Quinn and special guest Earl Skakel to talk about AEW. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Hey, thank you. And if you hear a small dog coughing, it's my sidekick Lois.
Good old Lois. We've got a pug running around here, and I kicked that off. Did you see the pre-show of Forbidden Door before we get into the main part of the show?
I did, yes.
That Dr. Martha Hart, it's like a hype. They were bringing her out as a hype man, and she is a public speaker, but she is no hype man. That was a comedy of errors to me. I watched it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And who are you all pulling for tonight?
You know, she's just not good on camera. Some people are, some people aren't. You know, like Tony Khan's not great in front of the camera. You know, he's like us, but worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
he's good when he's talking loud, like this, fans.
I mean,
did you ever do like the warm-up kind of thing before shows? When I was out in Los Angeles, Frank Nicotero, I think he was like CBS's guy. He did a real good job of getting the crowd ready for the actual show.
Yeah, it's a skill set. You know, I did it a few times for Rob Schneider's CBS show, and that's not bragging, by the way. And you have to be almost what they call in the comedy world hacky, and you know, you just want to warm up the crowd enough, but not too much. And you know, Martha, I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she's not meant for in front of the camera.
I believe that she's been like at the podium giving speeches. I think that's where her public speaking comes in. And I put my head in my hands. No, you don't like MJF. He's a heel. She actually did this last time where she thanked Chris Jericho when he was the biggest bad guy, and they booed her again. And it's like, oh gosh darn it. No, Martha.
I mean, I'm sure, knowing her son's association with Chris, she just kind of fell out of character. And, you know, I don't think, I mean, Tony Khan adores her, which, you know, is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Tony Khan is kind of cool in that way, how he takes care of people. So,
yeah, he's a very nice guy. And she was so spurned by the industry, burned by it. No, don't even mention my husband. And he came at her at the right way. And I will support your foundation. We'll support the family. We want to acknowledge your husband. It's unfortunate that she was the hype man there, but yeah, very nice of him to put her foundation on the donation list.
I mean, it is crazy that WWE killed her husband, and like I don't know, like.
Once that Dark Side of the Ring came out, it was just, pure incompetence. The assistant of the guy who knew what he was doing was like, hey, I'm in town. I've got this new idea that my stupid boss never thought of. Let me do it for you on the cheap. Yeah, sure, we'll figure out someone for you to drop from the ceiling.
Just take a chance. It'll be fun. They know how to fall.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about WCW, but when Sting was doing that, and he did it from some pretty tall ceilings.
Yes.
Unhooking himself every time. He got damn good at that.
Well, that's my favorite one is when he attacked NWO that one time and he fell through the ring. And it was obviously it was a dummy that had fallen through the ring, and then Hogan was like, "Get that dummy out of there!" And so they're bringing up the real Sting, and it was prime WCW. Bobby Heenan's like 8 guys to beat up a mannequin, and this is the only screw up they ever had was so when he reveals it's Sting, he couldn't unhook it. So if you ever watch that clip again, it's so funny how like Buff Bagwell, Mr. Perfect, I think Virgil, they all had to improv and come to him because he couldn't come to them, and it's just to see them kind of wait and like, okay, you tell they were doing like hand signals, you go, and it's just really funny. So.
Yeah, there were a lot of like mistakes with that Sting character here and there that were funny when you know the behind the scenes. Like you remember the time that there was the vulture on the turnbuckle, right?
Oh, sure.
The vulture was supposed to have like a note in its claw for like Eric Bischoff. So if you go back and watch the tape, you notice like Eric Bischoff is like going up to it and he's like kind of swatting at the at the vulture, but he was supposed to like grab a note and read like this like threatening note from Sting, and it just fell apart.
Yeah, I mean that's what made WCW kind of the precursor to AEW. Really, like it reminds me a lot of WCW.
Flying by the seat of your pants. That's what WWE like looking for an alternative. That's why a lot of us flock to AEW. And I haven't been watching really any product. I've gone to some midget wrestling that when it comes to town. Oh, micros. I'm sorry, they're called micros. So those are fun.
You want to get us canceled?
Yeah, already. We're only 10 minutes in.
This might be the shortest podcast attempt ever.
Gee whiz. And we're out. Well, we're talking to each other at least. Thanks for being here, Kip. Kip made it through.
Thank God Kip made it through. Yes.
We're talking about AEW tonight. And before we talk about Forbidden Door, Adam Page just started his second title reign, his first pay-per-view title defense. And his first reign, I felt they didn't set him up well. No. This is one of the tropes that it felt like the WWE, when someone gets the Money in the Bank ladder match case, okay, we can beat the shit out of them, and then when they do become champion, we got matches set up. And I thought they went too far, as some people may say, cooling him off. And being buddies with the Dark Order, I felt like when it came time for his coronation, I was like, oh, I don't think yet. I think we need 6-8 more months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to me, it was like that too, because it's like he took himself out of the main event picture by hanging around the Dark Order so much that even in AEW, the Dark Order were considered job guys. So, it's hard for me to take a main event future heavyweight champion seriously when he's hanging out with job guys all day and, drinking nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a job team in AEW, you are a job team. Like, and I get it. You can't have everyone be like these superstars, and you need they are like a collection of Iron Mike Sharps put together. And then
Oh no, that's the wrong one. Iron Mike Sharp had the cast.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He was from Winnipeg and could take a beating. But I don't know. I didn't like that association ever. I don't think it helped Hangman. To me, I'm older than you guys, but I think with AEW and Hangman, he could be their Magnum TA. That perpetual. If you remember who Magnum TA was, that perpetual. He was like my John Cena growing up.
Yeah.
Always the good guy, always facing the dastardly Nikita Koloff and people like that. That's where I see Hangman Page, but so far they've kind of dropped him. Kind of similar to what they're doing with Wardlow. They build him up, and then mess up the character, build him up, mess up the character. So hopefully this time he gets a better run.
And he disappears off of TV, and you don't know why they're not on TV. You don't know if they're injured or if they just don't have any plans for him. But, you know, you get used to seeing this guy every week, and then, poof, they're gone for no reason.
Jumping ahead to the event just a little bit, Wardlow did make a return, and he reignited his feud with the security guards. I was disappointed. It didn't go well the first time.
I to me, you know, I know we're jumping ahead a bit, but like Wardlow to me is like Mike Awesome meets Goldberg. Like he's so talented, and I'm already dreading what they're doing with him. Like he's the security or the bodyguard for the Callis family. He can be alone. Like maybe put him with a manager, but he doesn't need to be in a 7-person alliance.
Again, that's I forget where they left him off, and that's putting Adam Page. I remember actually when they had the big celebration and he said no, like he was associated with him. He's going to say yes. He's going to be our leader. They had the balloons and everything. He still drove him around in a golf cart. It just got so silly that was still way too fresh on my mind when they were setting him up to dethrone Kenny Omega, the belt collector.
I mean, well, you guys know me. The only reason I'm with you guys today is because of my love of AEW.
And we appreciate that.
I mean, if this was a WWE podcast, I probably would not be very valuable. But that's their number one problem, really, since day one, is long-term storytelling. Like, we could go from the Devil storyline to Wardlow to right now, Jack Perry. Where's Jack Perry? Like, you build this guy up from that ridiculous dinosaur outfit era, to this great heel. You kind of tease a faction with him, Okada, and the Bucks, and then he's just gone. Like where is he?
They haven't.
I wonder if this is Tony Khan being too much of a nice guy again and making sure people get the vacations that a physical job would, suggest that they might need. I'm wondering if that's part of why they're just there and not there. It's happened to so many people. It seemed like that had momentum, and even Adam Page, as I was going through his cage match, I thought that he had not too many matches in the build-up from when he was cooled off. He had a little back and forth with Brian Cage, and let's see, it was a tournament. He won a tournament to face Kenny Omega at a pay-per-view. He lost it, and then he won a ladder match to face Kenny Omega. And this is actually another time, another reason I thought they should have put it off. Daniel Bryan was so hot coming in. He had a match with Kenny Omega on Dynamite, and I thought he should have swooped in, gotten the title, beaten Page, and he could be making that heel turn of like, fairy tale endings don't happen, except for special people like me. You don't like to reference WWE, but WrestleMania 30 was that great fairy tale ending.
I agree with everything you just said. Like, that's how they should have done it. But I think Tony, he's such a fan that I think he doesn't really think what makes sense as to why people want to invest in Hangman or anyone else long term. He literally books by the week. And
we're coming as the casual fan. We're speaking. These are the things that like I accumulated of like I'd like to support you, but these are the things of why I didn't see Hangman as a main event player the first time as the world champion.
And sometimes you just got to change your storyline based on like the good stuff that's happening. It's like when they were planning for like Adam Page as world champion and all that, they were planning that way back before like Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and other people were going to be a reality. And they just kind of stuck with the plan. It's like sometimes you just got to go with what's hot. Kind of like if you all watched the pay-per-view where the Acclaimed was getting cheered to death in the building, but they still just had to stick to the ending, which was a Swerve and Watts' face going over as like tag team champions. Sometimes you do need to like book on the fly and go with like what's obviously hot.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways you can adjust, I think, but I just think Tony and AEW also is different from WWE from the standpoint of WWE, I think, books long term, whereas Tony is such a fan. He wants to give you those super matches that mean nothing for the most part. No, and my dog does not smoke. Sorry, it's embarrassing.
Lois is just getting to be a little older in the background there.
Just a complete sidetrack. She has a collapsed trachea, so I apologize. So I think Tony likes to have those super matches that mean nothing, but hey, we get to see Okada and Brody King wrestle for the first time ever. But you don't really care who wins or loses because there's just that's what they need to work on. Like
one of the small details is just video packages. To get me hyped up for who this guy Okada is. Let us, like the people that have done the homework, that have been there, and me who has somewhat of a working knowledge of Okada, but watching the television show, it's just some guy who's now the lead in this action drama that we've got going on.
Which I can tell you right there is like one of the things that frustrated me about AEW and started having me check out is when they would start having these New Japan guys come in with no build up, no nothing whatsoever, but their theme music hits and the ultra nerds in the audience react like they're hearing Stone Cold Steve Austin's music, and someone's walking to the ring and the sock puppet head man is losing his mind, and I have no idea who this guy is at all. And I get when you want to have like a surprise. Don't get me wrong. If you want to have a surprise, make it a surprise that everybody knows. But like a surprise when like 5% of your audience even knows who the guy is coming through the ring apron, except for the ultra smart marks.
Are you talking about the Butcher and the Blade?
That's
go easy. The Blade's my buddy, man. We gotta.
That's actually what I was gonna say. They should have played up that he is the bassist. What is it? Every Day I Die is the band. Like my buddy watched it because he was a fan, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that he had a following like this. So that was something. I remember whoever the announce team was. One of them. Who is this? And the other one, it's the Butcher and the Blade. It's like, no, darn it. It should be a mystery to us both, or we should both know.
Who are these two men? You know.
Well, I remember when Jay White debuted, my buddy Eddie was so excited. He called me, oh my God, Jay White. That's Jay White. He's New Japan Bullet Club. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who that is because New Japan is kind of hard to watch here in America. You've got to go online, and the website it's not the easiest to navigate. So, but now I love Jay White. He's another one. Where the hell did he go? Like,
I was thinking that. I remember that big angle that he had when MJF was the face champion. No, I gotta face him. I'm gonna face him, and then I was thinking the same thing of I know people who are a fan of him in Japan. So once again, those people with that hardcore prior knowledge, they love him. Me with that little prior knowledge, I needed more of an introduction to the guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I got into him a little bit later because I was kind of irritated by him at first because he's another one of those guys that they treated me like I should already know who he is. I should already know his history, his finishing moves, and whatever. And I didn't know nothing. But then him and that crazy looking caveman looking guy that he teamed with for a while, forget his name, had that randomly awesome match on Collision. And then I was a Jay White fan. And then they're gone.
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, he should be in the title picture. I mean, he's got a great body. He's a little on the small side, but like he's a good looking guy, which helps. You know, the girls are going to be into it. Great on the mic, but they just. I think my heart sank when they had him in like an 8-man tag with the Guns and like couple job guys. It's like he should not be in an 8. And I love the Guns, but like Jay White should be a standalone guy like Okada. You could almost cheat and just run back their New Japan matches with Omega, Okada, and Jay White, Ospreay, because a lot of American fans haven't seen that. So I don't know why they. I mean, I like him in the Bang Bang Gang, I guess, but he should be alone and on the mic as much as possible. But you know,
so yeah, those are a few guys that we've been missing. Back to Adam Page's first title reign, beating Kenny Omega, the belt collector. After that, he did have a couple of matches with Daniel Bryan, and I believe one of them was a 60-minute draw. And another just nerd side tangent of the time limit draw. I remember when it would happen like kind of randomly in WCW. It seems to happen always for a reason in AEW. Like the latest one, the tag team match that was a 3-way tag team match at Forbidden Door, time limit draw. But it helps just establish the time limit draw when just one of the random mid-card matches. All right, it's done, folks. And sure, not the best ending, but you can tell when it's going to be a draw when it only happens for that special reason twice a year.
I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later, but I hated the ending of that tag match. I think it made no sense from the standpoint of
actually that's another thing. Back to WCW, an overbooked ending all the time. WCW couldn't do an ending, and I don't know why I didn't make that parallel earlier to the pay-per-view, because that was present.
Because now, if you go on what happened on Dynamite last night, that ending sets up a feud between the Hurt Syndicate and that Ricochet group, which is like, what? You take the belts off them to do that? Like that. I don't know. That's something. If I was in the writers' room, I'd be like waving my flag. Excuse me, Tony.
I think Tony's the only one in the writers' room. So.
Something seems to have gone off the rails with the Hurt Syndicate. Once MJF was finally in there, he was just immediately out. They dropped the titles by kidnapping, and something. Something happened there where it's like, forget what we're doing. We're changing it.
Well, I mean, full disclosure, I'm friends with MVP. And he hasn't told me this, but I can tell he doesn't. The Hurt Syndicate and MVP, they don't like doing the humor stuff. Like, I don't think that they, I don't know if they necessarily minded the Outrunners short program. It was fun, but like, they want to be perceived as badasses, not.
Yeah, they are serious. They're professional wrestlers. They're not there for the ha-has.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the problem I think that I've always thought of with the Hurt Syndicate is it's not believable anyone could beat them. Like
no.
With the AEW roster in terms of a visual, like it would not. I know. It's not real, but it would not look realistic if the Young Bucks beat the Hurt Syndicate. It just, and they've already beaten the Ricochet group. So it's like, Unless there's something else they're doing that we don't know about.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is Buddy injured? Because just diving further into the tag title situation, it was Brody and Bandito who won the title from FTR after "Come here, guys, you're not getting pinned." I thought they were an intimidating enough tag team that they could take them out. I especially the Brody. I actually noted that. I feel like nuts with order. We're getting down this road. Might as well talk about the tag title match. Just get out of order. The shit, and I lost my train of thought.
You mean is Buddy Matthews injured?
Yes, Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews and Brody were a tag team, and now him and Bandito are a tag team.
I mean, I had heard that Buddy was wanting to go where his wife is. Or is it girlfriend or wife? Rhea Ripley.
I believe they were married
recently.
Yes.
Yeah, it's within the past year they were married.
I could see him wanting to go there, obviously, to work with his wife. But to me, he's like a bigger version of Kenny Omega. He's so good. I mean, if you watch his individual matches, but it's another one they've dropped the ball with. Like, it just like, because he was the actual wrestler in the House of Black. Malachi was the face, Brody the muscle. Buddy's like the guy. Okay, we need 5 minutes of actual wrestling. You go out there.
Because I want to point out one great thing about, again, it was another random great match. I think it was on the first episode of Collision. He had, Buddy Matthews had like a 20-minute great match with Andrade where they were like teasing like an injury angle toward the end of it too. So, I mean, the guy can go. The only thing that would hold him back in WWE is he's not tall. He's too short. So he might go there and be happy that he's with his wife and stuff, but don't expect him to, headline WrestleMania. If he probably could go further in AEW if AEW would ever decide to pull the trigger on him, because they don't really care about height that much there.
Yeah, no, I mean, some of AEW's roster looks like they would have jobs at Walmart with their bodies. He's so good. Like, if you could build him up a little bit, maybe have a couple matches with, like, say, Omega and Okada, and he has done some humor spots, like when that match when he was about to beat up Sting, and he sold when the Great Muta came out and put the green dust in his face, like, so he's capable of. I mean, it was completely ridiculous that Great Muta could beat up Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, but, not now.
Yeah, it's like the Great Muta's almost 70. He's just another one that's.
I was thinking that we had negative numbers on the Muta scale when we got a little juice in the world title match. That was they did it very safely. It dried up a little too quick. It seemed like they were going for a face-to-face, talking about MJF and Hangman Page, where they were both bloody, but Page's was dried up, and within a few minutes, MJF's was dried up. So that was just kind of seemed like a funny visual that they were going for it and didn't quite yet, because he went safe. He didn't go Muta scale.
I mean, I do think a program with MJF and Hangman could be good. I mean, they're both great wrestlers. I mean, MJF's like a great heel. Like, he's calm, but to me, I see him as he borrows from like Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect. And so I'm looking forward to and like I said, Hangman is like, I guess younger people would say John Cena, but to me, he'll just always remind me of Magnum TA, and so I'm interested to see what happens there. And I didn't like, you mentioned it earlier, Dillon. I didn't like MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. It made no sense to me at all. But it's once again, we're talking about AEW.
Yeah, they built it up. They built it up for a few weeks, and then it seemed like the blow off was never mind.
Never mind. We're good.
I mean, I kind of like an all black, like basically a black NWO.
Or Nation of Domination.
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't think they needed MJF. Like, it just didn't fit for me. And you kind of saw the signs. Okay, he's going to turn on them. He's going to do something stupid. I wouldn't mind a Lashley MJF program down the road, but maybe Lashley is not old, but like for a wrestler, he's early 40s, so maybe he can't go one-on-one as much anymore. So I don't know.
I mean, Lashley stayed pretty much injury free. I mean, he's had he's had some injuries, don't get me wrong, but like for the length of his career, which has started in the early 2000s, if you count OVW, where he's, trained by Jim Cornette, I mean, if he has a feud with MJF's going to have his flying boots on, is all I've got to say, because I can't see Lashley bumping a whole lot for him.
Yeah, I mean that. I think the great thing with Shelton Benjamin is like he'll do the athletic stuff, like the hardcore, wacky moves off the top rope, and Lashley's the muscle. But I don't know. I mean, Lashley's just got such a great look, like the shaved eyebrows. He looks like a black Incredible Hulk. I think you definitely, you're right. The good doctor is right. You'd have to pair him with someone who's going to take the bumps, which may or may not be MJF, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Syndicate from now.
I have an ultra nerdy fun fact about Bobby Lashley and the Incredible Hulk. His last WWE theme, they kind of copied a little bit the mid-1980s Incredible Hulk cartoon theme for the intro part of it. So if you take it a notion to listen to both side by side, yeah, they knew what they were doing with that music.
Yeah, I'm sure they borrowed just enough, but not too much to get the copyright. But I don't know. It'll be when they showed Lashley coming out last night on Dynamite beating up one of the Ricochet trios. I was like, oh man, this is not a great follow up.
The guys who they're out to get revenge on, one down.
Yeah, I just they've already beaten them, and only about a month ago. So once again, if I'm in the Tony Khan writers room, I'm like, this line of story doesn't really make sense because they've already beaten them once pretty handily. I don't know. Maybe have Wardlow come out with a big bill or something, or because then that's a believable opponent.
Yeah, and if you were going to recycle a feud, you got to have more of a cool off than a month. You can't have him handily beaten storyline over and then a month later, let's just do this again for no reason, because it's not even one of their A-list storylines. So there's really no point in recycling it this quickly.
And that team is not over. They're almost like a African American version of the Dark Order. I mean, that came out the wrong way, but
I had to write their name out. They announced it. It's Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, and to me that means nothing. As the casual fan, that had no impact on me.
I had just been referring to him as Richard O'Shea and Gape Sagani myself.
I don't know. It just that's something that, I mean, they're a job tag team. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't. That's the infuriating thing. It's like an AEW mark. They're like, what are you doing, man? But I just, I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, it's not believable. I hope it's a short-term thing, and maybe Ricochet joins the Hurt Syndicate or something. That would I wouldn't mind that necessarily, but I don't know. It just really left me limp. the way that
he's
match ended.
seeking someone to get their ass kicked in the Hurt Syndicate. Ricochet, it is.
Yeah, I mean, he sells. He's a great, he sells like on the level of Mr. Perfect.
Oh God, Mr. Perfect was the best.
He's had that smug personality that you want to see him get smacked that we never saw in WWE. So that is get your ass kicked guy in a faction. I'm all for it with him.
I got to give him so much credit because, like, in WWE, they didn't give him a chance to have, like, an actual personality. He was just Johnny McFlipperson. AEW is at least like, hey, hey, go out there and, like, try something, like kind of sort of feud with Jim Cornette without calling him by name, wear glasses like Jim Cornette would wear, have, like, kind of smarkish interviews. So I got to give him credit. He's got a lot more, like, verbal talent than I thought he would ever. I thought he was just going to flip, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one good thing AEW does is, like, they do give you, I mean, you just have more TV time. Like, if you look at Okada, Omega, Ospreay, those guys are getting 20, 25-minute matches. That's literally a quarter of your TV show. They're not getting that in WWE. Like, they're getting a 10-minute match, and it's 10 minutes on the nose.
The one time I remember that in WWE, Triple H and Batista at Batista's last WrestleMania. No, that was a terrible idea to give him 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, some guys are, Steamboat and Flair, I'll watch for an hour. Batista, nothing against him, half hour. He's a 10-minute guy.
Yeah.
So might as well jump on into our show. We're just headed the way to talking to it. I wish I would not have watched the pre-show. It was so much. It brought me into the show with a sour taste. Like, I had in my mind the old free-for-alls that would play on the preview channel as you're watching what's on the rest of the television going by. You would get the 30 minutes before, and they would have, like, one match and just do the hard sell to the pay-per-view. I felt like they had the sell, but not the hard sell. Not a whole bunch of video packages. I guess it was 90 minutes for 4 matches, 28 participants. That was a little much for my palate.
I mean, I'm an RJ City mark. That man could do no wrong in my eyes. But I agree. It's just you're almost already tired, and then the opening match starts at the pay-per-view, and you're kind of like, oh man, I've seen a lot of wrestling already. And none of those cards on the, I guess they still call it 0 hour. They didn't really advance any storylines or anything. It was just kind of, hey, we got to do something with these wrestlers who aren't on the card. And I get that, but yeah, I would chop it down, make it an hour, maybe 2 matches, and then the hard sell.
I felt the same thing, that they had room for 2 matches. And starting any show off, I've noticed this at any wrestling show I've ever gone to, just a basic one-on-one match. You don't need anything special at all. A high spot can be a drop kick in your first match because the crowd is coming in with virgin eyes, basically, and they will cheer at more of a basic body slam than they will in the middle of the night.
Yeah, because you're so fresh coming in. It's the first little bit of action you're going to see. You don't come into a show like when you're still getting your seat with your popcorn and you watch WrestleMania 17 ladder match, because where do you go from there? Not every match. It's not like the next match is going to be the WrestleMania 17 ladder match, but better, and just continue to scale up. You gotta pace your show a lot better.
Well, it's like when I saw AEW in Bakersfield, of all places, they did it right. And that was when they did Dynamite and what was the Friday night show? Rampage. They would just do a Dynamite and Rampage. So it's a lot of wrestling. So 3 hours of TV wrestling, but the warm-up match was just one match. It was Soraya's brother, who's actually a good heel. and he just did about a 10 to 12 minute match, basic toe holds, some light crowd work, and then the taping started. Like, so the crowd was kind of hot; they were ready for it. An hour and a half, it's just too much.
I saw a AEW. Someone got me some tickets as a gift, and I was like, all right, let's see. I went to their very first show, their very first pay-per-view in Vegas. So it's been years. And this time they did a Dynamite and a Collision. And yeah, that was too much having two 2-hour shows taped. I remember going to a Raw where they taped the Heat or the Jacked show before. 1 hour and then the 2-hour live show was a nice round. With the 90-minute pre-show, we're halfway through of when I'm already halfway out the door.
Yeah, the one that I got to go to that was just AEW down here. It was Rampage, and then it was followed by like some dark matches. They were still doing that AEW dark thing for like YouTube then. So I was happy because I got to see the Hardy Boys. And I'm like, this is probably the last time I'm going to get to see the Hardy Boys. I don't care if it's on dark or not. I was just happy to see them. And then the other one I got to see, which was historic in my opinion. I mean, they didn't do anything with it. I saw the very, very first AEW version of Ring of Honor show, which was that pay-per-view that they had down here. It was supposed to basically be the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, but then Tony Khan swooped in and bought it, so it turned it into becoming the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view under AEW. It's the one where Samoa Joe debuted at the very end of the show.
Oh, okay. I mean, I kind of wish they didn't buy Ring of Honor, to be honest with you. It just... because now you've got, Athena. Is she AEW or is she Ring of Honor? Like, it doesn't. There's too much crossover to make me care about Ring of Honor anymore.
I'm one of the people that have always said I believe in a hard brand split. That way, you can make things like WrestleMania or All or Nothing, mean something when you finally have crossover. Like if you establish someone as like the Ring of Honor World Champion, that needs to mean something. Right now, the Ring of Honor World Champion is not even a mid-carder in my eyes. I mean, I'm just using that as an example, but like I don't view them as equal to regular AEW performers. I see them as less than, because they don't even have a TV deal, and you got to hunt them down to even watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's something tomorrow night, Death Before Dishonor, which I guess is a pay-per-view, but like it's like they're so much of their talent is in AEW, and they go back and forth, and I understand you got to employ a lot of wrestlers, so you got to have them do something, but like yeah, I mean that's why I don't like Forbidden Door anymore. It's really not a big, like the first year when Okada and Okada and Omega wrestled in the first Forbidden Doors, like, oh shit, like this is going on. But now it's just like, okay, well, Tanahashi's he's in AEW enough where I don't really consider him New Japan anymore. Like it's not, like maybe David Finlay would have been cool to see on Forbidden Door, but you got to be a real mark to know who he is.
Those first couple of years, even as a casual fan, like I knew Naito. That was one of the Wrestle Kingdoms that I watched when he won the world title. Oh, that must have been 2020, because every title reign he gets fucked over. There's a fun. I know that there's a fun history with Naito getting fucked over and Tanahashi just always being like the John Cena Hulk Hogan and pulling the rug out from under him, and he's still the good guy. So those first Forbidden Doors, even as a casual guy, there was things that I was interested in, and there wasn't anything jumping out at me this time of international talent. Zack Sabre Jr. is their champion now, and I'm just not into him. I don't know much about him. I was a big Dean Malenko guy. So seeing him and Desmond Wolfe, to me, that was such a great run from that the TNA Desmond Wolfe run came right as Hulk Hogan and Bischoff came in.
Yeah.
And said, no, we're whatever you're doing, forget about it. We're doing something else. But I didn't get a fun little match for the IWGP title, but didn't have like that Malenko level to me. I know some people find Malenko boring. Zack Sabre, was just missing that little something of a technical wrestler that I enjoyed in Malenko, Benoit, and those from years past.
I mean, I do love watching Zack Sabre actually wrestle. Like he's.
Does he have that World of Sport style regularly in Japan, or do you not know?
I don't know myself, but like he's a great heel, Sabre, and he's someone I could definitely see crossing over to American wrestling or American television. He's got that look. He looks like William Zabka. You know, he's got that '80s bad guy vibe, and I just. I don't know. And now Takeshita won the G1, so is he really a New Japan guy? He's AEW, so it's like it kind of ruins the mystique of what was Ring of Honor, New Japan, and all these outside organizations now. It's just it's basically AEW guys being planted in these organizations.
The WWE, they still have like a delineation between NXT. Between AAA, that latest, what was it, the Triple Mania show?
Yeah.
It was a lot of WWE talent, but it was clearly a AAA show. The Judgment Day isn't going to bring the demon puppet to WWE, but it fit right in along with the tallest man versus the smallest man in the world.
Was that Omos?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Omos and like a 2'3" micro wrestler in a battle royal at the same time.
Now there's a dude I could see if he ever leaves. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Hurt Syndicate.
He just have to stand there. That's all he's got to do.
I mean, I've seen him. I went to. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Than El Gigante. That's all we need. He was a tall guy, but he never was intimidating as El Gigante in WCW.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm at kind of an El Gigante mark. You know, he kind of looks like if Mysterio's kid had a thyroid condition. Like, they do kind of look alike, Dominic and El Gigante, if you can separate, you know, the body mass. I liked El Gigante. You know, he couldn't talk. He could barely move because he had bad legs from basketball.
Yeah.
I think if he would, I didn't like his pairing with Harvey Whippleman, but like, I don't know. His run could have been a little better. They just didn't. You got to put him up against guys who bump. You know.
Yeah.
To me, the funniest El Gigante moment ever was when Sid knocked out.
No.
You know, it was the short cage and Sid powerbombed Pillman twice.
Yes.
And so they then sent El Gigante, who could barely move, to basically, I think he said, "Hey, this match is over." Like,
yeah, he in a sense threw in the towel when Sid powerbombed Brian Pillman to death.
It was just funny that, you know, they send in the guy who I'm going to guess he didn't speak great English, and you've got a roided out Sid who's probably jacked up, adrenaline pumping, and you're going to send out the guy who doesn't speak English all that well to tell Sid, "Hey, we're done. You know, so that's WCW though. It's like the electrocution match with Abdullah the Butcher.
That's one of the greatest moments in the history of our great sport. Is when Rick Steiner belly to bellied him into that chair.
And then the lever, I'm such a mark for this stuff. The lever was already down. Yes. So Cactus Jack had to kind of like do some improv and hold it up. And like it was still, he would let it go for a second. Nothing, you know, just like, I love that shit, man.
Oh, I do. When wrestling is naturally funny, even if it's like a fuck up, like, you know, me and Dillon did like a Sid episode on my little micro channel a while back, and like we were going over the stuff, you know, the unexpected funny stuff, or like how Sid was like, you know, unexpectedly funny with the, you know, the, "Hey, can I do that again? We're live, pal." And then the actual funny shit, like when, "Hey, Sid, your car's in space 22. And he goes, 22. Oh my God. And he runs back there and his car is crushed into a cube. And he's like, why me?
I mean, I think my favorite Sid promo is, and it's a little, you got to really be a nuanced fan to get the confusion. But when his first promo with the Horseman, when he's totally put behind the 8 ball and has to do an actual promo on RoboCop, and
I've never seen that one.
We probably will get in trouble if we can play it, but like he's like, in RoboCop, I'm 6'9", 320 pounds. I am the real Man of Steel. And then Flair about 40 seconds later, and Flair's coked up to the gills. It's like, RoboCop, this giant is 7'1", 370 pounds. And you see Sid trying to calculate in his brain, okay, he just made me 3 inches taller and 60 pounds heavier. What do I do? And then you got Barry Windham in the background. He's drunk. It's the greatest promo if you really know how to spot the subtle verbal botches that were going on in it.
It'd have been even better if like Barry Windham or Arn Anderson would have came in and then they would have added to it. It's like, and we got a 7'3" monster here.
I mean, Barry Windham, when you see this promo, he is so drunk in this promo. Flair's coked up. Who was it? Ole Anderson. He looks like he's about to. He looks like he's been embalmed. And then Woman, Chris Benoit's wife, she's just sticking her tits out, just trying to I don't know, get noticed. And it's so many things going on in that promo.
Now I was gonna ask you this about Sid. I might have read into this too much because Sid is the whole reason I'm a wrestling fan today. I was checked out after WrestleMania 3, I was gradually watching less and less and less because I'm just a little kid. And back then, it was all characters. I didn't care about moves. But what drew me back in was I was snowed in one day, and I'm flipping channels, and I see that big son of a bitch being announced as From Metropolis, which was fucking cooler than hell. And he was coming out to the Scorpion song because WCW at that time was like, we'll just play real music and get away with it. and then I saw the power bomb. So I'm like pretty much on the record saying Sid might be my favorite wrestler of all time. I know it's almost a random pick, but I was going to ask you, how high up there did Sid rank for you?
I mean, he's one of the great should have been bigger. You talk about right time, right look, very much like Warrior. Just, Warrior probably only could have worked in that mid 80s to very early 90s time frame. I think I don't think Sid liked the business. He was just probably looked at himself and go, what else am I going to do? I'm 6'7", 350 pounds. I'm not athletic enough to play basketball or whatever. I mean, we all know he was a softball freak. He literally would no-show house shows to play softball. He's definitely, I think he's one of the very few to win WCW, WWF, and ECW gold. I mean, I don't know, maybe Flair Flair was never in ECW, but he's one of the few to ever have heavyweight reigns in every company he was in. So I don't know, what something got lost in translation with him. He should have been a much.
Well, he had the leg break, so that's out of his hands. Who knows how much longer he would have had a full-time career. I've gotten lucky to see Sid wrestle in person. I have one extra bonus Sid story to tell real quick. I got to see Sid wrestle in person down here as a little kid. He wrestled Lex Luger, and for some reason whatsoever, Sid he didn't powerbomb on house shows, from my understanding as an adult, but like he sure did lay in a regular pile driver on old Sid, on old Lex Luger at the show I was at, and Elegante came out for the save because Sid was like brutalizing Lex Luger. You know that even on house shows they didn't want to have a clear win or loss or anything, so Elegante came out, and then a little bit later, I'm at the concession stand. This kid I went to school with saw Sid from behind the curtain, and he walked over there and tried to get his autograph. And Sid, I gotta give him credit, especially as an adult. I didn't think Sid was one of these people that cared about kayfabe, but he went up and tried to get an autograph, and Sid pulled the curtain back and said, "You get the hell away from me, you fat son of a bitch!" And he closed the curtain.
But you know what?
Like an 8th grader.
But I would almost guarantee Sid found someone to find that kid and brought him backstage. MJF does the same things. Like where a little kid will ask him and he'll rip up the kid's autograph. It's like, get away from me. So I'm a huge Sid fan. I just think, I just don't know why he wasn't bigger. I don't think he played the game. Like if he had, I think Kevin Nash's political maneuvering backstage, but he's just a good old country boy. Like he's like
a good old fertilizer salesman.
Yes,
and he's one of the most intense wrestlers ever. I actually thought of him in the Fletcher versus what was his name, Takahashi match.
That was a good match.
It was a good match. They had flashy moves and they had some great reactions. But to me, they were lacking the intensity of Sid, like with their reactions. They definitely went over the top. I enjoyed it, but I guess as like a little theater kid, late blooming theater kid, I was like, I see what they're doing, going over the top with the I kicked out again, and very technically savvy. But I felt both of them. That was my critique. Their acting is good, but like missing that intangible intensity.
Well, I think that's what made Sid so great was even his verbal botches added to the character of this guy's insane. Like I was watching I love it whenever I'm depressed, and most comics are depressed to some degree. I will always put on the promo when he turned heel against Shawn Michaels, and Vince McMahon's in the ring, and Sid's kind of like not really speaking clearly, and Shawn Michaels is like, "Big man, I'm giving you the night off," and Sid looks like he's thinking, "Okay, what's my line? What's my line?" And he's like, "You don't give me the night off." But it's just like he really did seem unhinged. And then he botched 2 power bombs, but I think Shawn Michaels wiggled out of him. He was not going to take a Sid power bomb.
No, I actually looked into that, and Kevin Nash is on the record saying that Shawn Michaels just straight hated taking power bombs because Kevin Nash said it's like the power bomb I gave Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania right before what we're talking about here was the worst power bomb of my career, and then it happened to Sid as well. So Kevin Nash puts all the blame on Shawn Michaels for those. Well, I've never seen Shawn Michaels take a good power bomb, so I mean
that's what I was thinking. The Sid turn came right after WrestleMania 11, and that is like an all-time classic terrible power bomb because it's from Shawn. You don't see shitty selling from Shawn. You see over the top selling from Shawn, but you don't see that type of stuff from Shawn. So that's definitely it. That 1995 Shawn said fuck no to that move.
But it's funny though, if you watch that promo again, like he definitely wiggled out of the first power bomb. So I don't know if the second power bomb was part of the program, but you could tell Sid was like, "I'm going to get my power bomb in." So the second one was a little more. It looked like it kind of hurt, to be honest with you. It's funny. It has nothing to do with this story, but like when I was on the Ric Flair roast, I was talking to Jay Lethal about how strong Satnam Singh is, and because I saw him hurt Peter Avalon at a house show because I'm like, what's the right way to do a power bomb? And he's like, well, you lift the guy up at the top, and then you let him go, and you let him basically just fall on his own power. And he said Satnam Singh is so fucking strong that he actually power bombs you, like he does the actual maneuver. And I think that's what Sid does. I don't think Sid realized or did. I don't think he realized his own strength. Because I've seen Wardlow do the power bomb, the jackknife power bomb, and he absolutely lets them go right as he's about to do it. He drops them. So I can understand why Shawn Michaels would not. That's got to be murder on your lower back to hit those wrestling mats.
Well, the early years of the Sid power bomb, like the first year he was still kind of learning how to do it himself, and he says the first one he ever did was an absolute accident in the ring against the guy that he was wrestling with. I think he was going for his old airplane spin, which they used to call the suicide. And when he did it, there's a great clip out there of him wrestling perennial jobber Lee Scott, and Lee Scott has a fear boner, and it is clear as day. But after about starting at 1990, Sid his version of the powerbomb was almost universally. He would flip them up and they would be over this shoulder, and then he would drop to his knees. And when he would drop to his knees, it drove the fucker down extra hard, at least through my eyes as a kid. I was a fan of the Kevin Nash version of the powerbomb. It's good and everything. It's better than nothing. But the 1990, 1991 Sid power bombs where he dropped to his knees, those are the greatest things in the history of wrestling.
Oh, I mean, I still like watching the Pillman power bombs in the cage. It's he had to have known after the first one he heard him. Those guys
because if you remember when he goes for the second one, he's lifting him up kind of gingerly over his shoulder and making sure he clears that cage.
I mean, I'm sticking up for Shawn Michaels. I would not want to take a Sid powerbomb, even if he's protecting you. And Sid wasn't known as a stiff wrestler. I mean, outside of the Mike Blackwell incident, but that guy deserved it.
Oh, the classic skyscrapers match. Yes. Oh, that was the one link I forgot to put. I think because I wanted to talk about that damn match where Danny Spivey beat the dog shit out of that guy.
What's funny?
Have a compilation, and Sid's WWF powerbomb when he was Sid Justice was definitely lighter. They told him to knock it the fuck off with what he was doing in the NWA.
Yeah. Well, it's funny if you watch that Mike Blackwell thing. What was his partner was Avalanche, that big fat dude, and you could tell they whispered to him, "Hey, we don't," whatever they said, but I'm going to assume something to the effect of, "Hey, we don't got a problem with you. Don't get
the fuck out of the ring." Because the way they tossed him out, they're like, "Get the fuck out of the ring. We're going to fuck this guy up."
But you could see Spivey kind of whisper something to him like, "Just stay out of the ring." It was kind of like that mass transit incident in ECW where I think Mustafa threw Devon out of the ring, and I'm sure in their own way was like, "Stay out. We got this guy." And those last few punches that Sid and Spivey threw at that guy,
they hit there, right there.
I mean, I think Spivey got a jaw shot, and Sid lands this just enormous looping Fedor Emelianenko body shot.
Jim Cornette said afterward he was in the back and Danny Spivey continued the beating in the back, and he said Jim Cornette's own words was he was going up to Danny, he's going, "Danny, I wish you wouldn't do that." He just kept wailing on the guy.
Well, if you go up to older wrestlers and say who are the toughest legit wrestlers, everyone says Haku first.
God, yes.
but most list Spivey second. You know, I can't imagine what I mean. I understand what Mike Blackwell was doing. Hey, I'm going to get some shine in front of my family, but probably should have cleared it with the skyscrapers first. And they probably would have told him to fuck off, but like,
oh, they would have told him to fuck right off. Danny Spivey definitely would have, because he was the veteran. Sid had only been in the business like 2 years at that point, so Sid might not have known better and might have been like, all right, I'll let you get a gut shot in maybe. But the Blackwell guy, he wasn't even smart about it. It's not like he was getting any offense in. It's like, you go back and watch that match, it's like Danny hits him with the not side salto, but like gut wrench suplex, and the fucker just pops right up, but he doesn't do anything. He just keeps popping right back up.
I mean, I knew there was going to be trouble when he bumped into Sid, and Sid clearly wasn't ready for it. So Sid fell down. Sid kind of looked weak because he fell down. And you could see Spivey kind of crack his neck and go, okay, it's on.
Yeah, he Sid went to lay in that clothesline, and the dummy didn't go down. The dummy like brick walled Sid, so Sid fell on his butt.
Yeah. I've tried to find Mike Blackwell. Like, this guy's story's never been told, but I think he's either dead or off the grid.
Oh, I don't know either.
We did get a documentary about the guy that Perry Saturn beat the shit out of. His brother that made that steroid documentary, and he was a part of it.
Mike Bell, I think.
Yes, yeah. Mike Bell. He was a job guy for years throughout the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I think certain jobbers, they knew their role. Like, hey, I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I'll have a job next week. Yep. And, you know, it's and certain, you know, you don't know what's going on through Mike Blackwell's head or the guy Perry beat up. You know, I think they probably get caught up in the moment. Like, I'm going to shine too. Fuck these guys. Well, your career's not going to be very long.
Ooh, no, you get at the very least you're going to get an ass kicking in the ring, probably. Well, maybe not these days, but back then for sure. But you're going to get yourself blackballed real quick. It's like, I mean, I do have this random story. It's like I have dabbled, to cue the dabble verse there. I've dabbled a little bit with independent wrestling, but not as a wrestler, just as like a bad guy announcer and stuff. And one thing that I saw with my own eyes was like, okay, I'm at an indie show, I'm doing heel announcing, and there was this dude, and he was basically doing a rip off of Kurt Angle, but his finish was the Spawn Buster, and this guy comes in, and this is like his third match. And of course, he's a third match guy, so that means he's a seasoned veteran. He thought in the heat of the moment, like when he got hit with the Spawn Buster, he should just kick out. So I'm doing the announcing. I'm just expecting, you know, the finish. It's just he's just gonna take the guy out with the Spawn Buster, and he's gonna do his, you know, gimmick and hit the showers, and he hit the Spawn Buster and kicked out, and all of us knew that wasn't supposed to happen. So old dude, the All-American guy, whatever his name was, proceeded to lay in very real punches and very real kicks, and he got right up on top of him to where, you know, you couldn't see his mouth. And he said, I'm going to hit you with it again, and you goddamn better not kick.
Well, I mean, you know. I mean, we're seeing something similar this week with the Rampage Jackson, his kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where.
Yeah, that's the biggest story right now, and everyone is at fault there. Everyone is at fault for letting that go down. I actually went to a show by Reno Anawai in a parking lot in North Hollywood once.
Oh,
it was
God.
It's the most low rent wrestling show I've ever been to. That Knox Pro wrestling show. That was just funny to hear. That's the one where all the shit went down. That you got to give him a receipt. He doesn't know what a receipt is. to him, a receipt is indeed clobbering him within an inch of his life. Oh, God.
I mean, well, it's funny, like, because there's an AEW parallel in this, of course, with me. But I remember early in AEW when they had that American Top Team faction, which is an actual, MMA training facility, I think in Jacksonville. Like, they've trained champions. And I thought Dan Lambert, who's a legit MMA coach, he was a great heel. But the faction consisted of people from that gym, and you had Andrei Arlovsky, who was a ex-UFC heavyweight champ. And Junior Dos Santos, who's an ex-heavyweight champ. And
he was the one that hit the flying knee on Jericho on that one episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that was, but you could tell, like, Arlovsky was good at pulling his punches. Like, he made it seem pretty real, like fake realism. But you could definitely tell Dos Santos was having trouble. Like, this guy's trained for 25 straight years. Hit this person, hurt them. So I think I'm trying to find an out for Jackson. I think when you take MMA people and put them in the pro wrestling world, and obviously Jackson falls into this category, he struggled with, I'm not supposed to beat the shit out of this guy. Like, it's supposed to and
Just give him a receipt. That was the instructions that the guy gave him. Without one punch is a receipt. One stiff punch is a receipt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, but the scary thing was when the other wrestlers started to, like, attack Jackson, he was kicking their ass too. Like, he's legit. So if I were them, I would invite him back. And he's probably not smart enough to the business. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of legal problems for him coming up, but I'd say, hey, man, it's all good. Why don't we have the main event be you against this guy? But, nothing's going to happen to you. And then you just fucking jackhammer the guy. Now, he seemed like he was decent in MMA, so I don't know how much you're going to kick his ass, but you get a receipt or two.
The out that I heard from the guy, and it's probably just rumor and innuendo, but I swear it came from Rampage Actions, is that his son got a concussion right before in training, and that's why he was, so easily loopied out and beat the tar out of that dude in the ring. But
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think if we see, who is the wrestler who got beat up? I don't know his name.
I can't remember it.
He's been there 11 years. I know that much. So he's just a lifer doing this for a hobby on the side.
Yeah.
But I think I just have a sneaking feeling you're going to see him in NXT or something, because he could sue a lot of people.
The old Blue Meanie defense. You came in, you worked with JBL. How could you sue him and not trust him when you came in and worked for him?
I mean, because aren't they kind of like a loose feeder league to WWE? I mean, there's some association, right?
Formerly, there was.
But, like, a good lawyer is going to find some way to shoehorn the WWE into this. And someone told me Rikishi and Booker T have some kind of association to this.
Rikishi does. Rikishi has it. Reno Anawai runs it. I know Gangrel used to be involved. It doesn't sound like he's involved anymore. That was years ago when I saw it in North Hollywood. Gangrel looking fat as fuck wandering around.
Oh, God, poor guy.
He was on the roast of Iron Sheik with me at the Comedy Store, and it's so funny to take people out of their element. Now, here's a guy who's wrestled in front of 40,000 people, or WrestleMania, probably more than that. Mm-hmm. And he was sweating bullets backstage going, what do I do, man? I've never done this before. I'm like, it's too late to ask now, bro. You just got to get out there and wing it. And of course, Buff Bagwell asking me for a little of the powdered refreshment before his set. I'm like, dude, get out of here, man. So it'll be interesting to see. I would bet that a WWE lawyer or someone associated with someone high up reached out to that guy in the hospital and said, how would you like an NXT tryout next week when you get out?
I actually thought we were going to see a death on the pre-show. That I wrote his name down. Oku, the guy Oku, in a 6-man tag match, did a backward over the top rope backflip right onto his neck and shoulder.
God, yes, Jesus, God.
I mean, that's why when I see Ospreay do that maneuver, and man, he barely clears the rope on the final flip. You really do appreciate when it's done right. Like, such a very thin margin of error on that particular move, where you could do the first 2 flips, but then if you hit the rope at all, you're going to land on your neck on the outside. So,
oh yeah, it wasn't like the women's 4-way. I actually pulled the clip and watched it over and over again of the one lady not quite getting all of it. The baseball slide that she was able to get her hands to kind of push the 2 ladies. And second ladies match of the night. The first one was that a 6? Everything was a 6 or 8-man tag in those.
Yeah.
But I forgot about Chris Statlander.
Oh yeah, me too.
She has it, and I was disappointed to see her there with just a dozen other women there on the pre-show. That she's been there since the beginning, or almost the beginning, and yeah, it's just in the shuffle somewhere right now.
I mean, I think she needs a mouthpiece. She's not the greatest on the mic. She's not horrible, but she's someone who's an actual wrestler. Like, she needs, like, not Don Callis, because I think he's overexposed, but like
definitely.
Oh God, yes.
And I'm a fan, but it's just like last night, he was on TV a lot. I think
coming to the brown noise, that's scientifically known to just make people uncomfortable multi-times a night. Give me the NWO theme a dozen times.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Yeah, I mean, I
did enjoy the B Team NWO song to help break it up, and I didn't think it was that bad.
I mean, that NW, don't get me started on the B Team, the C Team. I mean, when Horace Hogan was in it, I'm like, all right, this is nuts, man. This is, and my buddy Virgil, rest in peace, but, he was not. I'm of the belief it should have just been the 3 guys. Maybe adding the Big Show made a little sense, but like, that's why
it's fun that we have Bischoff to now let us know the reason it got so fucking big is because it was supposed to be NWO Nitro and WCW Thunder. So we've bloated the fuck out of it, and then they slashed our budget after approving it. And what do we do?
I mean, that's why I was like, okay, I don't mind MJF being out of the Hurt Syndicate. It should be just those 3 guys. Maybe Omos if he ever were to come over, but I hate it when they just add to these groups, and it just factions to me are good when they're smaller.
Mm-hmm. The one faction that I did want to see on the pre-show, Joe Hobbs and their tag team partner, what's his name? I was unfamiliar with him, but I liked all 3 of them, and I was like, if only it would have been a singles match and this trios tag title with Team Joe, I would have been into this pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done with that the ladies match, to be honest with you, but like, I don't mean that. Women are great wrestlers. You got to chop the block at some point. I would have liked that match as well, but I think Tony and both rosters are bloated with WWE and AEW, so I understand. I'm paying these guys; they're gonna fucking work tonight, or girls. So, I don't know.
The girls' match that they did have on the show, the Bozilla lady, I could see them signing her. Every time we have a Forbidden Door show, the best and brightest go right through that Forbidden Door and are just part of the everyday roster. And of the 3 ladies, I was impressed by Bozilla.
She was great.
Monster.
God,
yeah, I liked her. Yeah.
I think she just needs to change a little bit of her aesthetics, and she will over time. I was watching it, and I was thinking, man, she would look great if she had some heavy-handed gloves like Vader, and would do something like Vader punches in the corner. To me, she looks like she could pull off like a little look like that.
And to be only 21, like that's, I mean, she's very green. You could tell. But I thought she sold well, and they sold well for her. I could see her.
She had that presence.
Yeah, I mean,
factor.
She does like almost like Dewdrop for me. Never really. She's kind of like. I saw a little bit of Dewdrop in her, but something extra. Like she does have that it factor, and I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. But
you just know it when you see it, like with Ospreay. Ospreay, I haven't seen a lot of, but every time I've seen him, he has that superstar intangible quality that I'm like, yes, this is your top guy. And I was just astounded that Hangman got. It was another tournament, wasn't it? That Hangman won, beating Ospreay last in. I remember it like being set up to be like, oh, this is the coronation of Ospreay. Well, I guess it's good that they didn't do that because he's going away for a while.
But I could see Bozilla. Like I would put her with the manager because she's probably not good on the mic yet. She's just so young, but like almost have a Sid like don't talk a lot. Just let whoever, whether it be Stokely or someone else, they don't have a lot of good managers in AEW. I've tried to.
They have a lot of managers. Good,
not good ones.
No, they're all terrible.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Don Callis is good, but I think he's overexposed. That hype guy who was with all the Hispanic wrestlers, Alex Abrahante, I think is his name. He's okay. Stokely's good in spurts. But I do think I've tried to get RJ City to get me an audition to be a heel manager. I'd like to manage Bozilla.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably get kicked off the first episode.
Yes, you would get kicked off immediately.
You can make it further than Bubba the Love Sponge. I believe in you. You can make it 2.5 months.
Just don't run into Awesome Kong.
I loved Awesome Kong.
When she gave you that stare, she didn't even need that manager. I remember it was cheerleader Melissa in a hijab, whatever that character name was.
I mean, a good manager is so important, I think, especially when they're either young like Bozella or they're just not good on the mic. Like Statlander. I just think it's really a key because Mercedes Moné is good on the mic. She plays a great bitch.
You hate her guts. Like it transcends because I can't. I buy into it so much. I legitimately hate seeing her on the screen. But then she'll have a good match, and I'll pull myself back in and can be kind of a fan again. But the second she's off my TV, she's got X-Pac heat with me again.
Because you get the feeling she's probably really like that in real life.
Yeah. I
haven't heard anything one way or the other. Sorry, my TV just randomly turned on. The wildness here in my house. Dogs coughing, TV's turning on. But I'm trying to think, like Willow Nightingale, she's okay on the mic. But, I really think a good manager could help Bozilla and Statlander. Especially in Bozilla, she's so young. I can't imagine she's had any mic work.
Ooh.
And as we're going through the card, I did skip right over the first match of the pay-per-view, Edge and Christian's reuniting, because we got just a whole bunch of multi-man matches. Here's another one, and Kip Sabian. I can't believe Kip Sabian was part of the group. He was one of those that I figured would be sifted out along with and Helico and the few others that Tony just stopped calling. He got accidental juice somehow. I looked up and his fucking eye is bleeding. It's like, that's not where you blade. He just fucked himself up.
I mean, was Nick Wayne really hurt, or was this just the storyline to get Luchasaurus in there?
He's got to be really hurt because if you're gonna you needed Nick Wayne for that. As casual of a fan as I am, Nick Wayne was the feud. Him being out, it boggles the mind if it's on purpose. You would want Kip to get out there if you're bringing Luchasaurus back.
See, I wouldn't have debuted or brought back Luchasaurus until the pay-per-view. Like, I thought you blew the surprise on Dynamite. It's just a little thing. It didn't make or break the storyline because it was, you knew they were not going to beat Christian and Copeland, but it would have been, I think, a slightly better pop if they played up the mystery partner. But they didn't. So it's AEW. They didn't.
There is history there. I can see why they would say here it is. He was part of Christian's group forever until. Did he have an injury? Well, once again, we've got to ask.
I don't know.
It used to be we knew what happened, even when it was covered up. But
I think in his case, he was really sick, like in real life. He was like hospitalized, and I forget the illness. It was like an internal injury. I don't think it was wrestling related. And apparently he was like really losing weight, and his wrestling career was supposed to be over. So I just thought, even understanding the history that you talk about, it just, I don't know. I think we as wrestling fans like to think, well, it's probably Luchasaurus, but could it be someone from New Japan? Like, just because there's so few surprises that are left for us. Like, everyone has been brought back from every company. I mean, I did like the Wardlow surprise because I didn't see that coming. So, I don't know. Just, I'm nitpicking.
No, I mean, that's what we do as wrestling fans. It's part of the fun of it is nitpicking at the death and kind of having like little friendly debates.
Yeah, the Wardlow came back in the Okada Swerve match, and there was a theme that really started with the Okada Swerve match I feel like an old man when I see these DDT onto a stair spots. This is really when the pile drivers started and just intensified and kept happening throughout the night to where I was like, it's over. I was watching some Hangman Page matches from his first title reign. Same thing with his match with Adam Cole. There is just a lot of dropping on the head. The what do you call his move? The Canadian Destroyer.
You mean
from the top rope?
I think he calls
so much
it
dropping on the head.
I think he calls it the Pittsburgh plunge. His version of it.
Well, because Okada does the same thing with that. Basically, a neck breaker on his knee, and it's like, man, I'm sure Okada's a pretty safe worker, but like, you're talking when they're sweaty and stuff, one slip, and man, that's a broken neck, man. Like,
so I've had an awareness that Okada's finishing move is the short arm clothesline.
Yeah.
And before the short arm clothesline, he was setting him up with short arm lariats. I saw this right, correct? Like I was baffled. I saw a short arm clothesline, and it's not the finishing move, because I thought the difference between a clothesline and a lariat is just who's delivering it. So, as a casual fan, I was just kind of caught off guard that those are both his setup and his finishing move, this short arm strike.
It doesn't make any sense because you got to go back to people. It's just asinine to do that, what he did in that match, because, okay, JBL does the clothesline one time, and that's his finish. He doesn't have, like, different variations of the clothesline that aren't the finish. It's like when he goes for the clothesline, that's when you know it's over, and that's what was confusing about this guy. Is like you're led to believe it's like I thought his finish was this weird like backpack clothesline thingamabob, and didn't he just do it? Was he going for his finish earlier? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, you as a casual fan, you caught the same thing I did of those short arm lariats that weren't the short arm clothesline.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I guess you'd say an Okada, not super fan, but whatever, a mark for him. And I even get confused. I'm like, well, that thing he just did, isn't that his finisher? But he kind of used it almost. It's the only time I've ever seen the finisher used as a setup to the finisher. Like, So yeah, no, you're not wrong, Dillon. I think, I don't know. I wish he would do something before that finishing move that's completely different.
Reverse the Jake the Snake. The DDT leads into the short arm clothesline.
Yeah.
Or just take out his other versions of the clothesline. If he's got to absolutely do a strike and he wants to do something similar, just do an elbow,
Oh, they also had a tombstone on the floor in this match. DDT on the stairs, tombstone on the floor.
That wasn't the finish.
Yeah, but this is when they started going into overdrive of moves that I was like, you've gone too far for me, guys. That's match over. That is a disc that is now bulging from what you did. So those type of moves, just leading to a 2 count, really took me out of the latter half of this show.
And that's why I got to jump in. It's like these are what you're just talking about. There is some of the reasons I started really checking out of AEW. It's like, how can I can't take a short arm clothesline seriously as a finishing move that you're hit with it, it's over, but I can DDT you on the steps, tombstone pile drive you outside, do or like in the first AEW pay-per-view, a Canadian destroyer through tables, but you kick out of all that, but a measly old clothesline will take you out. It's like, it's like, okay, for those that play, like I play WWE 2K25, it's like having 2 creator wrestlers and giving them nothing but the coolest moves and then setting it to simulate for 30 minutes. And that's what it's too much sugar. I can't have that much sugar in one match.
Yeah, I mean, I cringe every time I see a tombstone on the steel stairs. It's just, oh man, that's just like one false move, or these guys are going to get really hurt. And then they can, even in some cases, kick out on a 1 count after that, and then a kind of a weird finishing move knocks them out, like Lee Harvey Oswald shot them.
And then we had in the match after that was the ladies' match. Toni Storm tombstoned Athena's manager on the outside. And I laughed. Did I write the quote down? That might be it for her. Shouldn't we be taking her backstage to get that neck looked at? But she was up there towards the ending. And, this is another wrestling trope that I hate. She, interfered by, pulling the mat and messing up Toni Storm's move. I didn't touch you, but you tripped her by pulling the mat. It's the Kofi Kingston Royal Rumble rules. I've always fucking hated that. He landed on pancakes. He didn't land on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that girl's pretty young, and I get they want to probably get her in there in any capacity, but that didn't really add a lot to me in that match.
And we were talking about the tag title match earlier. I have a couple more notes about that before we head to the last 2 matches. The start of the match, I really did enjoy each tag team, FTR and Bandito Brody, picking a Hurt Syndicate member and just fucking them up. So then we can try to have it out between us after we take these guys out.
I mean, I didn't like. Where was MVP?
Yeah, that was. Someone asked if it was his criminal record that had any trouble. I don't know, because he's been open about that. He's been. He's a reformed guy. It was before his time in WWF, so that was what some people were theorizing. And I remember when Jacob Fatu first got in, and he was going to be in a Canadian pay-per-view main event, and they didn't advertise which bloodline members it was going to be because they were working their ass off to get Jacob Fatu over that border.
But I know MVP travels a lot to Japan, and I don't know. I mean, I thought his presence was definitely missed because he's a great manager. He's also a badass in real life. So there's a certain authenticity with him that you don't get with, say, a Stokely or some of the other managers. Like, MVP. I mean, he's come to the Comedy Store a few times. Yeah, he's.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's a big comedy fan. And like, you put your arm around him for a picture, man, it's like a brick wall. So, whereas like, Stokely looks like Roger from What's Happening.
MVP is the one manager who has that aura, who feels like he's managing top guys, because he's only managing top guys. Everyone else, they've always had to just add more and more to who they're managing. And the Heenan family, they were all monsters. After Hogan disposed of the monster, they just went away when they weren't useless, and more monsters for Heenan to manage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think MVP, he's got a presence, like, goes almost like to a comic when they walk on stage. You either vibe, or a wrestler, or any entertainer, I guess, where they just, like when I saw the Killers in concert, that singer, he's got a presence. Like, I don't know what it is, but you're just drawn to him. MVP's the same way. Like, I was lucky enough to be backstage at, I think it was Dynamite in Ontario out here, not Canada. It's like real white trash.
Ontario, California. A lot of times when you see an airport, it was filmed out in Ontario, California. I was there a couple of times.
Because they've got the time to shut the airport down to film a TV show. But you can tell the respect MVP has. Like, every wrestler was talking to him, walking by, hey, asking him for advice. There was one particular female wrestler who was like, hey, can I talk to you about my match? And like, you could tell he's very like a mentor backstage, where some of the other managers I saw walking around, nobody was talking to them.
Yeah, I can imagine, like, if MVP gives you advice, even the AEW, even the young AEW fans, they're not going to smart off to him and say, like, no thanks, old timer. I know what I'm doing out there. Go cry a river. I'm going to put that guy through the windshield in my match later. I have a feeling they actually listen.
Yeah, I mean, well, that always made me so angry that they didn't turn that into an angle between him and Punk. Because Vince would have. Vince would have sat Jack Perry down and CM Punk and go, listen, I don't give a shit if you guys hate each other. I don't care if you want to murder each other. But while you're in this building, we're going to make an angle out of this. And it's going to pay off for both of you. So I wish. Yeah, I mean, how great would that next pay-per-view have been if it was Jack Perry and CM Punk?
Because you would have been, even us, super marks, we would have been looking for the punch that got laid in a little extra. So
Edge and Matt Hardy, they were told, yes, you can go out there and be stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
Because the one thing, and I know it's a couple years ago, but like, the narrative of that backstage incident was, well, Jack Perry was kind of a bitch and he just kind of covered up, and CM Punk choked him out. But when I did like when AEW released the video footage, Jack Perry fought back, like he was ready to throw down. So I thought, man, that's too bad they didn't. This could have been a good angle. Maybe both one guy wins. Could have been a series, best 2 out of 3, but they probably would have been fucking friends after. Maybe not.
WWE actually released a commentary with CM Punk and Randy Orton watching their match on YouTube, and they talk about how much they fucking hated each other at that time. So I mean, that's something that WWE has capitalized on, and Tony is just not doing that. It's just okay. Cody, you can stay over there. Bucks, you can stay over there. Kenny, stay over there. If you're not so friends anymore.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I would have said Omega and Punk. I don't know who bit who. The dog. There's all kinds of wacky stories about that. You guys are going to
Kennel
wrestle
from Hell Match 2. The only time that I'm going to be asking for that.
Yeah, I mean, like that's that's the difference between AEW and WWE. Like, there's many differences, but like, that would have been a great. yeah, you just like listen. You don't have to like each other, and I get it. I'm around comics I don't like, but I give them a good intro. If I'm bringing them up or they're bringing me up, you just you do it for the show. And so,
if you got a ball buster that'll that works for the setup, throw it in there. If not, it's a professional intro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this guy's great. He's got more allocations than an NBA player. Give it up for Johnny Bubala. So I do wish that's one of the greats. Hopefully AEW isn't out of business anytime soon. But when the doors close on AEW, you go, what's the one angle I wish they would have done? That would be the one.
Oh yeah, there was so much money left on the table because you had a possible Punk versus Jungle Boy, Punk versus the Young Bucks, Punk
and that's from a year
Kenny
ago.
Omega.
The Punk versus the Young Bucks. That was the exact year before. It was 2 years in a row of okay. No, nobody be mad at each other. We've got a happy, safe place backstage.
Yeah, just like be mad at each other. Like it's just like there's a lot of egos in wrestling in both companies. If you just put up, as you can tell, my dog is awoken. Just quiet for the most of the. I do apologize.
That's all.
But if you only put wrestlers who like working with each other, it's going to be a real boring card. So that's. I hope they bring back Jack Perry. I loved that. It kind of, in some ways, reminded me of the Horsemen. With the Bucks, Okada, and Perry. Like there was a good mixture, and they just scrapped it. So, I don't know. I mean, we could go on and on about AEW's missed opportunities and, the Devil storyline was, I thought, awesome until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
I mean, having Wardlow.
It didn't start out as the Black Scorpion. It just eventually degenerated into the Black Scorpion.
Where's Ole Anderson when we need him?
Well, I thought it was, at first I thought it was good AEW planning. If you remember the first attack on Jay White, it was all small guys. And some of them were so small, people thought the Devil was Britt Baker, which I thought could have been cool. But then
they had a legit backstage heat that got out too, yeah.
Yeah.
But she seems like she's a bitch, so it probably would, I don't know, to have a female leader of
yeah,
it could have worked. And then when the second attack, when they threw Anthony Bowens through the window.
Oh God.
I've never seen that. I heard all about the window in the fake room. I want to know what episode that is. I want to see that.
Wasn't the room completely empty?
Yeah. It was literally like a movie set.
Yeah.
But like some of the attackers were bigger. It was clearly not the same group as the first attack. And then in the final attack against Hangman, sorry, this is my Rain Man like memory.
Oh, it's all good.
They were all fucking jacked, and I thought, wow, that's awesome by Tony to try and cover it up. But then my friend who works backstage for AEW was like, oh, it wasn't planned like that. They're just picking anyone who wanted to be one of the attackers. So,
okay.
Sean Spears, I think I'm going to guess he was in the final attack because they were all big guys.
Uh-huh.
But that's AEW in a nutshell. Instead of saying, okay, we're going to switch up the attackers, throw off the scent, we're just going to just pick random people. Hey, Rocky Romero, you want to be one of the attackers tonight? Okay. So that's typical AEW.
Oh my God! Has that guy been on TV? I remember he debuted to a lot of hoopla, and then, at least as far as I'm concerned, he seemed like he disappeared almost like a month into his debut.
Oh, Sean Spears?
Well, not Sean Spears. I know he went back to NXT. I mean, Rocky Romero. I remember he
was on
seemed like he
Dynamite.
was. I didn't see.
I think he was on the show somewhere. I feel like I said Rocky Romero somewhere on Forbidden. I think he was somewhere in one of these multi-man tag matches. I'm not.
Well, he's part of the
Callis family. I swear they said Rocky Romero.
No, he's in the Don Callis.
No.
Okay, yeah, he was in an attack when one of the several attacks that happened. It was the first thing that happened. The very first pre-show match. There was an attack after the match. It was that Ishii looks so old. It's the first time I've seen him, and he's taken Lance Archer down. And then Lance Archer is coming out later in the night. That's what it is. When Wardlow came out, Rocky Romero was part of that.
Okay. Well, Lance Archer's another guy we could go down a rabbit hole. He's been. Everybody has dropped the ball on Lance Archer. Lance Archer's one of these guys that should have been a Sid Vicious, but he's never been higher than Test.
His first feud with Cody Rhodes. He's never. He lost to Cody Rhodes. He's lost to everyone after that. The story of Lance Archer, the former Rock and Rave Connection member.
Oh, with the tramp stamp. Back when he didn't have the full back tattoo, he just had the tramp stamp.
I mean, he should be. I don't know. He had a great match in New Japan with Ospreay. Like, he can hang.
Yeah. No, he can. He's a monster. But
I think the problem with him, at least in AEW, is he's kind of like that. He's the job guy to the big boys. Like, he's
he was one of. He was one of Adam Page's opponents in his first title reign, and he's this big badass-looking motherfucker. But he's just been a jobber to whoever we're getting over, and that was it must have been after the Daniel Bryan program. They're trying to keep him hot. What do we got? We got this big guy. Shit, but he's cold as shit. Let's do the best we can do. I think that was a death match. I remember that being some sort of death match. Which
I mean,
we're almost two in the lineup. The death match so far.
He's someone that with a good writing, I don't think wrestling's that hard to write. It's a movie. It's good guy, bad guy. Why do you like the good guy? Why do you hate the bad guy? Or why do you like the bad guy and hate the good guy? And he's someone who I think could benefit from just the writers. If Tony Khan would give them some creative freedom. Okay. Here's Lance Archer. Here's the look. He can wrestle for a big guy. He's got, the cornrows and all that, the tags. We need to put him over. So how do we do that?
They seem to forgot just the Goldberg formula. We got nothing for him. Goldberg debuting, we got nothing for him. He can't wrestle. Just send him out there to win real quick. And that's all we need from Archer and Hobbs to get him a few months of that on the level of right. They've beaten a bunch of guys. Now we believe this big motherfucker can challenge for the world title.
What I would do first and foremost is I would take him off TV, make people forget about him for a while, and then he comes back with that fresh coat of paint, like what Jim Ross used to always say. Like go away for a little while. There's that. There's Lois. Go away for a little while, learn a new hold. If he goes away for 3 months, 6 months, something like that, and then comes back as a badass, it would be believable because we had a break from his lineage of being a jobber. So now he's coming back with like an axe to grind. He could reference things from the past, like I never needed that Jake Roberts as a manager. He never came out to the ring with me anyway. There's a lot of just random stuff that they could do with him, and like other guys, and I don't even know if the guy is still working there, but I'm gonna bring him up, Brian Cage.
Yeah. Well, I
feel like he would
do.
There not long ago, right? He's an ROH. Is he an ROH champion?
He was, I think. I don't know.
I think he was an ROH trios guy, and then, but you guys are right on the money. You could do what you did with Jack Perry. He's this ridiculous Jungle Boy guy. Then you give him a few months off. He grows the beard. Wears the black leather jackets. He's this cocky, son of a wealthy actor. And it worked. You could do that with Lance Archer. Maybe he grows the beard out to like almost have the righteous type look.
Like Zach Wilde. He could be like Zach Wilde.
By the way, I love the righteous. I wish they were a little bigger. Did you see that promo they did with Elias when everyone thought Elias was going to be in AEW?
Oh,
I have not.
No, I missed that. No.
Oh, it's the best. Like, that's why it was so weird when Elias showed up on TNA, because maybe a week before that, the Righteous and Elias had done a promo where they're baptizing a kid in this lake. And, the kid looks frightened. They dump him under the water, and then he gets up doing that kind of righteous, whatever that thing. It's so funny. And then I think they said they filmed that typical AEW. They filmed it on their own. They basically did it to show Tony Khan, hey, this is what we want to do, instead of Tony Khan going, hey, let's film a promo. Now we're gonna. So just another lost opportunity.
You have to be so invested in yourself. You've got to, you can't wait for opportunity to come to you. You got to make your opportunity. And that was the smart thing that they did. It was like, hey, we got an idea. Let's just film it. The worst he can do is say no.
Oh, it worked. I mean, because Elias or Ezekiel, whatever you want to call him, he just looks like they would have been a great trios team in AEW, because the big guy Dutch, he moves pretty well for a big guy, and the smaller guy looks, he's like a good cowardly small heel type. And then I just had in my head Elias is on Dynamite cutting a ripper of a promo against WWE, because similar to that one he did in Seattle about Oklahoma City having a good basketball team. But it didn't happen.
One of our other favorite heels, MJF, got his title match, and this early into Hangman Page's reign, I don't think anyone was expecting MJF to win. I didn't like the added stipulation that losing by countout or disqualification changes the title. And whenever MJF, I think, did it twice, trying to goad Hangman into punching him with the ring or hitting him with the chair, it just made Page look like an idiot, considering following through.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. It just seemed unnecessary. It just kind of clogged up the storyline of they're so good together. They do have good chemistry with each other that you didn't need that.
Third pile driver on the floor of the night. Once they started, they couldn't stop. So 3 for 3. Okada, Tony Storm, MJF match. Pile drivers on the floor. What's the behind the back tombstone that Adam Page does? Through the table.
Oh, the dead eye. The dead eye.
Yeah, the dead eye backwards tombstone. I guess table spots aren't a disqualification. That was something that I was like, you idiot! You lost your title. He didn't lose his title. Doing the thing through the table. Okay.
Maybe they have a rule in AEW that because the ring is made out of wood, it's okay to go through a table.
I mean, I think they're given a lot of creative liberty in AEW that definitely is not in WWE. Like, even that table spot with Darby and the kid from New Japan, Gabe Kid. That looked a little wonky. Like, okay, we're gonna try and do this as best we can, but get ready.
That multi-man match.
Oh, we are all glitching out.
Oh, I'm good. There you go.
Testes.
Oh,
1, 2,
here
3.
we go. I'm back.
All right. Looks like we're good again.
Did AEW shut us down?
Yeah.
They saw me playing the Martha Hart promo in the beginning. We're off the air. Shit. We still have a few people. Thanks for sticking around, folks. We're at the end of the pay-per-view, and oh boy, I had to watch this in shifts. I wish I wouldn't have watched the pre-show. I might have been able to get this done in one sitting if it weren't for the 90-minute pre-show and the big cage match. I I almost went full Cornette. When he started reenacting Reservoir Dogs with the using a fork instead of a knife to the ear, I was actually like, I wish I would have gone to Dave & Buster's to watch this. If I watch an AEW pay-per-view again, I need to go to Dave & Buster's and see the violent acts of that Quentin Tarantino had the decency to cut away from in Reservoir Dogs. They stuck on it. I almost turned it off and didn't come back after that.
I mean, I remember back in my day, a fork in the ear was a finish, and now it's just a high spot.
I mean, I will say, to me, the biggest difference between the two companies is the camera work. Like, that's something WWE would have cut away from.
Oh, yeah.
AEW, I think the guy auto-focused in on it. Like, it was a little much. And they really... In AEW, like, you really see the missed punches a lot.
Oh, yes.
Whereas in WWE, they do a great job of, like, making it look real. So, another critique. And I'm a mark for AEW, and I'm saying that.
Mm-hmm. I am glad I came back because right after the ripping the ear off of the officer, then Mr. Pink powerbombed Darby Allin while he was still duct taped. That's right, he was duct taped to a chair. They were reenacting his middle school days and duct taped him to a chair for that spot. And the powerbomb while still in I just roared laughing at that powerbomb duct taped in his steel chair.
I mean,
I'm just wondering. It's like, when is he gonna be crippled? I mean, I've said this for like 5 years now. It's like, this is it. This is the night Darby Allin is crippled for real.
It's either his internal organs are just built differently than ours. When I saw that chair spot where he's getting slammed, I was like, oh, man, this could go sideways. The chair slips at a different angle, or his neck or something gets like but, the guy's like Gumby. He doesn't – I mean, that glass spot in the last Sting match when the Young Bucks just got out of the way and he just went through the glass.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So, the fact that he climbed Mount Everest – he's in amazing shape. I mean, like, I don't think a lot of pro wrestlers could do that.
And now holds the world record for the world's highest kickflip on the whatever foot of Mount Everest.
Yes.
So, I mean, he just... Some guys are just... Yeah.
I was ready for him to be the guy that beat Moxley. Oh, that went on too long. We're already been here 2 hours, so let's not analyze that Moxley race. But I was
that's next week.
Darby to be the guy.
Next week.
Yeah. I have so much that I can go on for 2 hours about AEW gosh darn it. And thank you for being here for 2 hours with us, Earl. I also have in capital letters as this match ended, another pile driver, another tombstone, the Bucks TK driver. I was like, no more pile drivers.
No more.
Nimrod just hit the nail on the head, because I thought the same thing, where Darby, he really is, like, I don't want to say a more skilled Spike Dudley, but
yeah,
I guess a modern day Spike Dudley. I mean, I still remember the powerbomb Sid, bringing it back full circle, gave Spike Dudley a WCW. Jesus, man, that must have hurt. I don't care.
Was that the crowd surfing powerbomb? That was an amazing Spike Dudley spot.
Well, there's the power bomb. Yeah, there's the power bomb over the top rope through the tables that Sid did immediately after Spike put his arms around him. Was like, "You're my friend now, Sid. Thanks for coming out to save me."
I mean, that just, I don't care how trained you are. And Sid was still pretty big. I mean, he was older in ECW, but still probably pushing 280. And great physical upper body still. So, God bless Spike. And, I don't know how Darby's going to, I mean, his chiropractor must be a billionaire.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Can you imagine, like, we're all talking and we're not really thinking about these guys' bodies, but can you imagine how Darby Allin feels like this afternoon? Like, his body has to be just a wreck. But, he doesn't, on the surface, it doesn't seem like it bothers him much.
And he's never been really bruised up that bad, if you think about it. Like, think about the time, I forget who it was, but they threw him down the concrete steps outside, and they didn't even get a good camera shot of it. He wasn't even really that bruised up.
The only time he showed up bruised up was when he was hit by the fucking city bus. That's the only time he had a black eye.
But, like, it's insane. Like, some guys just don't get hurt. Like, they're just, I don't know, they're limber. Maybe he does yoga or something. I'm not even trying to be funny, right? But that Sting spot where I think he was supposed to jump on the Young Bucks and they got out of the way at the last second, and he just right through a table full of glass. He got up right away. Like it was nothing to him. Enjoy your youth, Darby. Enjoy it.
Yes, enjoy it.
Is Darby one of the guys they actually set on fire? Someone did get set on fire, didn't they? They're always
Cody Rhodes set himself on fire that one match, but that was his fault.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of when they got when they threatened the fire. And I actually just found out shortly before this show came on, it was threatening Mark Briscoe with being completely set aflames. That this stipulation happened in the MJF match of if countout happens, I win the title, or I'm going to murder him by fire.
But I think the one where they threatened fire was Darby against Jack Perry, where he had Jack Perry tied up on the ropes, and he's spraying him with what looked like kerosene. Like it's great.
That must be the one I'm thinking of. The Young Bucks quit for him. Now my memory is being jogged.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm thinking back to the first WWF Inferno match when Kane went under the ring and put that nice long arm glove on to then grab it.
What's funny, I was backstage at an XPW show, which is a real, it's like ECW with no money type of, like it's insane. And the main event was this guy Schlack, who's like known for hardcore wrestling. And Masada, and they're running around in a panic. The main event's about to start. There's supposed to be a big fire stunt, and the owner of the company, Rob Black, looks at me and goes, "Hey Earl, will you go to 7-Eleven and get some lighter fluid?" And I'm like, and you can see this stunt on YouTube if you look up Masada fire stunt. And I'm like, "Hey man, that's oil based. I don't think you're supposed to use that." And he just kind of shrugged it off and goes, just get what you can. So I go into this liquor store. First of all, 7-Eleven is like, I'm not selling. I walk into 7-Eleven. The guy looks at me and goes, "You're from XPW, aren't you?" I'm like, "Well, kind of." But
how did you know?
And he's like, "Whatever you want to
Nothing
buy,
is for sale.
Buy at the liquor store across the street." So I go to the liquor store and I'm like, "You have like, I don't smoke or anything." I'm like, "Do you have like lighter fluid or something?" He's like, "Well, yeah, try this Zippo fluid." And I'm like, "Well, that's oil based, right?" He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I'm like, "I'm not going to worry about it."
I'm not worried about it at all.
So I run back to the event. Schlack looks at it because it was going to be a fireball from Masada to Schlack. So Schlack seemed fine with it. I show it to Masada. I show it to Rob Black. He's like, "Yeah, let's go for it." So, and Masada's a big guy he kind of looks like Brody King, that kind of a build.
Okay.
And he's got like a beard. So the first fireball works great. But Masada was so fucking sweaty and oily, the second fireball catches his beard. And his whole face goes on fire. And this shows you independent wrestling in a nutshell. The producer of the show, the one who was like actually caring about the product, he's like, "Hey Rob, we got to stop the show. We got to stop the show. He's on fire." And Rob Black just looks at me and goes, "Yeah, he'll be all right." And his wife, or whoever this girl, Masada's wife, "I'm going to fucking kill him. I told him not to do this spot." I'm like, I would lay low when he comes back here because his face is on fire right now. We're gonna have an OJ Nicole situation if you yell at him.
Oh, thanks for sharing that XPW experience, Earl.
There's many more. There's many. I mean, I use XPW as a palate cleanser. It's not the high gloss. The only other thing that even comes remotely close to that, there was a guy. I think he's known as the hardcore hillbilly, and he's just this gigantic guy from Alabama. He's not very skilled, but he'll do anything Rob Black tells him to do. So someone thought it was a good idea if his opponent stuck ninja stars in his forehead. I mean, like real ninja. I saw
that episode of South Park, yeah.
And so they couldn't get it out. Like after the match, this guy's bleeding. And Rob Black looks at me and goes, Earl, you want to give it a shot? I'm like, give it a shot at what? He's like, well, you're the only one strong enough back here to so I'm no gloves on, blood all over my hands. And these stars are stuck in his head, man. And I finally got him out. But God bless independent wrestlers is the whole point of this story. And every time he's in town now, the hardcore hillbilly calls me and says, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, no, thanks.
I'm great.
I'm good.
Yeah, I can't imagine what you do for fun outside the ring. I'm good.
The most I've ever done is one time I hung around long enough after one of those micros wrestling matches at a dive bar. They're like, hey, can you help us take the ring apart? Those steel beams are fucking heavy, even with those teeny little midget wrestling rings.
Well, that's what they would ask me in XPW. Hey, Earl, did you have a good time? Yeah, it was a great show, Rob. Thank you for the hospitality. I mean, it is kind of neat to be backstage and, see these guys and girls, going over their matches. And they're really violent in XPW. They have this guy, Angel, the hardcore homo. That's what they call him. It's not what I call him. And this guy's finishing move is the best. Most guys, you finish them with whatever your finisher is, and they go on their back, and it's a pin count 1, 2, 3. What you do when Angel hits his finisher is you don't end up on your back. You end up on all fours with your ass in the air, and he comes and pumps you 3 times. It's like really, it's unbelievable.
Now it is a submission hold, right? Like he keeps pumping you until you tap out.
Sometimes they went more than 3 pumps. Trust me on that one.
That was Viscera's finishing move when he was wearing the Hugh Hefner pajamas to the ring.
What a safe word he was.
Love machine. Yeah, that's the Undertaker's skull.
Did you ever make it out to Brian Kendrick's Wrestling Pro Wrestling? They used to be out of Burbank. Had a bunch of guys in masks with like the guar foam, Serial Man. Oh, the Forchata Horsemen, the 4 Horsemen, but they're all cheese. Ricotta Flair, Parm Anderson, Gorgonzoli Anderson, and Tully Blanchetter.
I mean, I've been to a lot of independent promotions out here, like PWG. Obviously, that's where I saw Ricochet. Yeah. I mean, I tend to like the more violent ones just because it's such a different presentation. And XPW for a second would get AEW wrestlers. Like they had Taya Valkyrie as their women's champion, but I know she told them, "Hey, I'll do whatever you want, but you're not cutting me." And Willie Mack, who was like an AEW jobber, he wrestled, and Brian Cage was in XPW for a couple matches. So but I think they went out of. I think they lost their permits out here, so they're on the East Coast now.
I seem to get XPW and CZW confused. Which one was it that had the New Jack attempted murder incident?
Well, I mean, I definitely saw New Jack in XPW, but I think when he beat up that old Hawaiian guy, that was not XPW.
No, I mean he threw what's his
Vic
face
Grimes.
Vic Grimes off off the fucking moon through 3,000 tables.
I was there.
You were there? Holy Jesus!
It was at the Olympic Auditorium, and it was a scaffold match.
Yes.
And
yes.
I remember, I got there early because I don't know if I would get there early now, but like back then I want to see him set up the ring and all that shit. And they were setting up the scaffold, and I don't know, they had this one guy, probably an intern. He's climbing up the scaffold to see if it works, and it's like shaking with this guy on it. Big Grimes is probably about 350, so. I remember they go up, and you guys know the storyline about why New Jack was mad at him.
I remember seeing the dark side of the ring.
Yeah, I know
about it.
I know the exact reason. In ECW, they had a match where they ended up basically on top of a basketball hoop in the little arena that they were in, and that was. The spot was just supposed to be, New Jack throwing him off, like kind of doing like a suplex, I think was the plan. But at the last minute, the last second, Vic Grimes chickened out. It's like, I can't do it, Jack. I can't do it. I can't do it. And Jack says, oh, motherfucker, you are doing it. And instead of it being a suplex or whatever it was supposed to be, that's where, if you go back and watch the footage, he just grabs him and just pulls him while he falls himself. And Vic Grimes, I guess, accidentally did a backflip, and his hip went right into New Jack's eye socket. And New Jack's words were he was blind from that moment forward from that eye, or like 80% blind or something like that. And that's where all the heat came from way back in ECW.
So, yeah, and then, they get up to the top of the scaffold, and the scaffold's moving like it's like they're on top. This is probably not the best representation, but the scaffold, like if this is the top where they are at, the scaffold's going like that, and like it literally looked like this could fall at any second. And then New Jack pulls out a taser, and you think, oh, it's wrestling, it's a work, it's not. But we all
it's
in
not
the arena.
The TNA talcum powder taser.
Well, we weren't like, there weren't that many people there. So when he turns on the taser, it sounded real.
You can hear the.
No, absolutely. Because I would guesstimate maybe 500 people there, and the Olympic Auditorium is a fairly big. It probably seats 5,000 maybe. And so you could definitely hear them talking to each other. And apparently, so he tases him, and it looked like he actually was tasing him. I don't think Vic Grimes is that good of an actor. And apparently he said, hey, New Jack, I can't feel my legs. And New Jack, like, don't worry about it. You're not going to need him.
You're going to need him in about 3 seconds.
Well, Kip Smith is right. If you watch that clip, and it's readily on YouTube, what saved his life was, he missed the tables. I think he maybe grazed the table, and that forced him offline where his foot hit the turnbuckle. And, I don't know if he would have died, but he would have been paralyzed. Absolutely. So, and that's XPW in a nutshell. I know we got to wrap it up, but like,
yeah, we're a bunch of nerds that could keep talking about this for 5 hours, but we do have to get back to our lives, and don't want to keep you nice viewers here for too much longer. Real quick, Tanahashi looked old as fuck as he did a 5-on-1 comeback on the other team, and he got the win.
Yay!
I did like that. That was respectful to have him be the finish. But
I thought he should have got the pin, being that he's retiring. It's his John Cena year of so long, everyone. it was just the 5-on-1 that I was like, too old for the 5-on-1 comeback. It reminded me of Ishii kicking off the show, where it's like, I don't know your past, so I'm not buying this. As you would Stone Cold or Hogan much longer than you should have, because the Japanese fans, the hardcores, have those memories of them being the badass and can spin their animation more. Whereas I never saw those years of Ishii or Tanahashi.
Yeah, I mean, Tanahashi's kind of getting in almost that Ric Flair mode of, okay, I don't want to see you wrestle anymore. It's no disrespect to him. It's just, fuck, he's older.
It's just it's how you look. He's starting to lose the believability with the with just age, winning. It's undefeated, like the turn.
Yeah, there's Father Time is undefeated. So,
fuck yeah.
It's like, I thought Sting did it right. He wore the long sleeve T-shirt and everything covered up everything. And Sting's probably had the most graceful exit in terms of, I don't know what got Sting into being hardcore toward the end of his career, but he did some wacky stuff.
I was scared for his life. I'm like, it's a 60-year-old man putting his life in danger like this. But I was like, on the other hand, I was like, well, thank God he's at least retiring. And it's one of the, I will unironically say this, thank God he's retiring in AEW, because that WWE run was bullshit.
That's another hour and a half. They just turned that into WCW versus WWF epilogue chapter.
Oh, we'll be on here another hour, but don't even get me started on the Sting jobbing to Triple H.
We can easily get on another tangent. That was our meandering conversation about AEW Forbidden Door, and if we do this again, I'm watching it at Dave & Buster's. I want there to be another ultra-violent match and see the atmosphere of what it's like at a public place of the Reservoir Dogs spot.
Yeah, I would love to watch at Dave & Buster's to see these 10-year-old kids seeing some of these wacky Darby Allin type stunts. I will be back here next week. I am on the Dillon from Somewhere channel. You're watching me now, Dr. Harley Quinn, 22. Is that your channel, sir?
Yes, Dr. Harley Quinn, 22 at the Twitter machine.
And you can get updates on Dr. Harley Quinn's shows. He's been going live on Sundays. And Earl Skakel is a touring comedian. You can find him in your town. Check your local listings.
I mean, the only smart thing I've ever done in comedy is, you want to find me on YouTube, X, Instagram, it's just my name, Earl Skakel.
And there it is. Type in Earl Skakel. I don't think there's a second one out there. I'm the only. I've noticed that on Facebook. I'm the only Dillon with my last name. My brother Jimmy found several of people with his last name, but yeah, a nice, unique enough name that you don't need to dig too far. Earl Skakel, thank you so much for talking wrestling nerd shit with us. And
thank you.
We've got another about 199 hours in us of talking wrestling horse shit easy. Thank you for joining. And
thank you.
You're invited to come back. Me and Dr. Harley will absolutely be here regularly. Thank you for joining us. And folks that are tuning in, feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right to left date. Grand right and left, around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky Strike is first again with Tobacco Men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a Lucky Strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a Lucky Strike.